James Harden is finally getting his wish. He's going back to the Bay. The Philadelphia 76ers are shipping the bearded one, PJ Tucker and Filip Petrusev, to the Clippers. And the Sixers will be receiving Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, multiple draft picks, and a pick swap. There may be a third team incorporated by the time this deal is officially complete and approved by the league. We shall see. The main story in all of this is James Harden finally getting what he has also desired and publicly stated he wanted, to be a Los Angeles Clipper. Harden is from the California area. And to me, James is going to what will likely be the last spot in his career. I do believe the word retirement tour is sufficient and relevant for James Harden. I do not see him leaving the LA area to go anywhere else for his basketball career. I think this is probably the last landing spot for James with the Clippers. Now, maybe an opportunity could present itself down the line where he could join the Lakers, but I do believe this probably will be the last team we see James Harden play for. I do want to talk about the actual trade itself, in which the Sixers and what they're getting and what the Clippers and what they're getting. But I want to start here, and in 1 minute's time, I kind of want to explain to you how I believe we got to the point where James Harden wanted a trade away from the Philadelphia 76ers. In my mind, I believe Harden has flat-foot convinced himself that he deserves the ultimate happiness while being an NBA player and also the least amount of scrutiny possible. That's what I believe James Harden wants. He was the face of the Houston Rockets, in which he was the #1 scoring option under Mike D'Antoni. Obviously, that worked in the regular season. In the playoffs, not so much. Okay, let me go somewhere else. He goes to Brooklyn. Kyrie kind of flakes on him. We get to the postseason. Harden is expected to be a #2-ish for the Nets. Okay, Harden's like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for that. I thought I was going to be a #3 here. Okay, Harden then wants out of Brooklyn after the flaky Kyrie Irving situation. He gets to Philadelphia. He brings some friends with him, the PJ Tuckers of the world, the Daniel Houses of the world, Daryl Morey, his guy, his general manager. James, in the regular season, is a #2 behind the MVP Embiid. Everything's perfect. But in the playoffs, we found out that Embiid really is a #2 his damn self in the playoffs. Harden's looking around like, wait, I got to be #1? That's not what the bearded one desires. Now he can get to LA and presumably often nights be a #4 option for the Clippers. And because Kawhi and Paul George get injured so frequently, I think Harden can still get that taste of being a #1, #2 scoring option because the Clippers have a history of resting their top 2 guys. Not to mention the fact that Steve Ballmer is the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers. When was the last time you Googled the net worth of Steve Ballmer? He's like richer than the next 9 owners in the NBA. This dude's got money on top of money. He's got a new arena coming to that California area. He's got Kawhi as the face of his team right now. That's probably not the best face with the injuries and his personality. Steve Ballmer's not going to let this new arena be a flop. What do you do to prevent that? You go bring in notable names that got hometown ties, like a James Harden. He maybe can squeeze one more contract out of Ballmer because he's a hometown kid, because Steve Ballmer's so rich. I think it's a smart play from Harden, not to mention we know he enjoys them California parties. I understand exactly why Harden did this. It was a risky move. He could have fell flat on his face. The Sixers ain't have to trade him. But it appears, this is just my opinion as we kind of pivot in here into what I look at the Philadelphia 76ers and what they got back. Here's what I'm thinking. And this is without listening to any top-tier reporting. I'm shooting this video before I hear anybody. You know, I think Woj is probably going to be on Get Up this morning, all that great stuff. I'm shooting this video first, so this is off the top of the dome, FERRO. Here's what I'm thinking from Philadelphia's perspective, what they're thinking about James Harden, because it kind of played out really weirdly. We heard from Chris Haynes that James Harden showed up ready to go right before the Sixers kicked their season off in Milwaukee. He was ready to board the team flight, according to Chris Haynes. The Sixers said, hold on, bro. Wait, we don't really want you to come to Milwaukee with us. You've been away from the team on an approved absence. Reportedly, James Harden was attending to his mother that was ill at the time. Prayers to her. The Sixers are like, wait a minute, though. We want you to stay back, though, and kind of gear up because you've been away from training camp. You didn't play any preseason games. We want to get you right whenever you do make your return. Well, Harden's like, well, wait, y'all don't want me to get on this PJ with y'all and go to Milwaukee? I am never in the greatest of shape. I'm a hooper. I can hoop wherever. Well, hold on now. Wait, y'all want me to come stay back? But the assistant coach that I work out with, Rico Hines, is going to Milwaukee. Why should I stay back if Rico's going to Milwaukee? Harden's looking around kind of weird. He actually did join the 76ers for their last home game. And I think Daryl Morey and I think that Philadelphia 76ers ownership group and coaching staff, Nick Nurse and company, they looked at what they had through 3-4 games. I think they liked the progress that they've seen in Tyrese Maxey, who's now the number 2. I think they like what they see in Tobias Harris without James Harden. Tobias just doesn't play well with James. James could care less about getting Tobias the ball. Now, let me be clear. I'm saying the Sixers are not as good a team in the regular season without Harden. But I do look at this team and the problems that Harden was about to give them. You still got Joel Embiid. I think for what it's worth, the Sixers probably were a second-round exit with James Harden. They're probably a second-round exit without him. The only thing I would say about what they did get back from the Clippers, because they did get some guys. Like, we ain't finna act like Marcus Morris ain't hooping. Marcus Morris is a hooper. The Clippers had too many forwards any darn way. The problem with the Clippers is they have to keep many forwards on their rosters because their top 2 guys get hurt so much. They're now pulling some of those forwards away. I don't like that the Sixers were not able to get Terrence Mann or Norman Powell. The reason why I bring that up is those are the guys, especially Terrence Mann, that got value around the league. And if the Sixers were potentially trying to go out and get another superstar caliber guy, all-star caliber guy to put around Embiid, if Embiid does show signs of being unhappy at some point this season or next season, without a guy like Norman Powell or Terrence Mann bringing him in via trade, you're pretty much saying, yo, we would have to give up on Tyrese Maxey. That's what I feel. I'm looking at these guys, you know, Nicholas Batum's best days are behind him. Shout out to Rocco. I really like Robert Covington. What up, TSU? His best days are behind him. His value is not at his peak anymore. I like KJ Martin. Salute to the old Wisely vet, Kenyon Martin Sr. You know, so far with KJ, he's shown signs. He's got incredible athleticism, has not panned out as a player just yet. Without getting a Norman Powell, I can't believe they weren't able to squeeze Norman Powell out of the deal. No Norman Powell, no Terrence Mann, which seemed to be a non-negotiable for the Clippers. I think the Sixers came out okay. They got some vets that, essentially can help on the defensive end of the court. Marcus Morris can make some buckets. He can be a tough guy. They didn't get any guys that bring value to a trade to help get you a all-star, superstar caliber guy. But I do think the Philadelphia 76ers came out okay. Now, let's swing over to the Clippers because there's a lot going on here. I'm looking at the Clippers. They played their first 3 games against 2 really bad teams. Against, they beat Portland and they beat San Antonio. Victor's not ready yet to compete for anything. They blow both of those teams out at home, by the way. They go to Utah and they lose a tight one. I don't believe the Jazz will be a good team this year. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I just don't believe they'll be a good team this year. You know, late in the game, Kawhi has a chance to beat the Jazz at the buzzer. He misses or is close to the buzzer. Russ gets the rebound, actually gets a shot up before time expires, and he misses, and you can visibly see Kawhi upset at either the shot selection he got, the shot selection Westbrook got, or both. And I don't know what triggered Steve Ballmer to make that move right now. Maybe it was some of the stuff I brought up previously, but I'm still questioning the timing because in my world, I think the James Harden trade would have been available at the deadline, right? I would have liked to see the Clippers give it a go with Russ, with the way he's playing, which is still really good. Athleticism, second to none. And Kawhi and PG healthy, most importantly. That's the kicker, right? You never really gave Kawhi, PG, Norman Powell, Westbrook, you never really gave them a real shot because of injuries. I would have liked to see that for at least half a season. I would have liked to see them grow from that loss against the Jazz and just see what they got. They go in the direction of James. We'll see how this team is able to figure out their rotation. they don't have depth now, in my estimations. Shout out to PJ Tucker. We know he's the swag god. He's the shoe king. I don't think he's got much left in the tank. You can't really put him on the court with the way the Clippers roster is constructed. He's an undersized forward, and you want Kawhi and PG in the game late in games, right? And you want Harden on the court, presumably. So I don't know where he fits in on the Clippers squad. I don't know. I don't know about this trade for the Clippers. It's star power, which is why I see why Steve Ballmer would do it. I just don't understand the timing. To me, either you do that trade before the season starts or at the deadline. I didn't see anything within the first 3 games to me that made sense for the Clippers to do it immediately. I mean, James is in the last year of his deal. If you wanted James, you probably would have been able to get James maybe at a lower rate. You know he wants to be in L.A. after the season. I guess the Clippers are looking at it as a do-or-die season for them. We shall see. This is a contract year for Kawhi and PG. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't think this one's going to work out from a rotation standpoint for the Clippers. I do not. And I think the Sixers came out okay. I don't think the Clippers lost this trade. If you got a chance to help the business, which the NBA is still a business, you got to do it. They got a new arena coming. And I don't hear too many people in L.A. when I'm in L.A. showing much excitement about going from the Staples Center. What's the new arena in Inglewood or whatever? I don't hear much excitement about going to watch the Clippers play basketball. So you got to do stuff to excite the casual fan. Y'all let me know your thoughts on this mega trade. If you're waking up right now, James Harden is a Los Angeles Clipper, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia 76ers and Los Angeles Clippers agreed to a mega trade that will send the bearded one to where he wanted to be. He said, I'm done with Daryl Morey. I will never trust my former guy again. Harden is a Clipper. Let me know your thoughts and what I had to say about the trade in the comment section below. I want to thank y'all guys so much for the time, love, and support. If you enjoyed this great quality content, if you feel like your boy FERRO breaks this NBA stuff down better than the rest, here's what I need you to do right now. I need you to hit me with a subscribe button. It's free 99 to show me that you support the grind. It goes a long way in my growth and what I'm trying to be as a business. So thank y'all for the support and the love. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am FERRO.